action. It's hot. Hey guys, Chris from Average Skate Reviews here. Before you jump into this one, it's hot. So if I have to pause or have a drink, excuse where the sun is as well. That's like blacking out my face. No black jokes, because that's racist. But let's jump into this one. This is the Wowgo AT2 Plus. Had this board for a bit. Was going to do a first impressions, but based on the way that the board rides, its performance, I just wanted to do a review. First things first, price. At the minute, Wowgo do sales all the time, but the board is priced at $1,049 US, which translates to £836 as of when this video is being filmed. But I'll put a link down below to Wowgo's website in the description so you can check what the pricing is the day that you watch this video. But bear everything I say in mind when we keep the price point in check, which is 836 Great British pounds. Now, first things first, going to be the design of this board. You guys know that I'm a pretty generic guy when it comes to designs on boards. I don't like anything too loud or anything too crazy. The all black is a bit too subtle for me, but I do like the purple outline on the grip tape. To keep it short, I'm really happy with the design of this board. I think looking at it from a bird's eye view, when you're riding it, when it's leaning up against a wall, the way it's got like the mounts at the back for the lights, it also comes standard with a bash guard, which I think is insane, especially for the price. But all in all, just really pleased with the way this board looks, especially with the hubs and the wheels. I think everything comes together really nicely. Taking a quick look at what you get inside the box with the Wowgo, you get extra belts, you get lights so you can be seen at night from behind the board. You have, of course, the T-tool, bunch of cables to be able to charge all the bits inside, including the lights and also the remote, and of course you get a pump. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but so many times I've been sent a board, the pneumatic tires always ship either half inflated or not inflated at all, and I don't always have a pump on hand, so this is appreciated. And of course, let's not forget my absolute favorite, it also comes with cloud wheels. Cloudier wheels, my favorite. When I saw this board online at a glance, I thought it was a carbon deck, but after riding on it, it's not a carbon deck, it's a flexible deck, which is great, which has a major impact on the way that it performs in rides. But I'll touch on that when we talk about the riding later on in the video. But from there, we're going to be looking at the top speed of the board. Wowgo advertise a top speed of 31 miles an hour, and that's with the 175mm pneumatic tires, which on paper, again, I was very surprised at for the price. I thought that was pretty much the sweet spot of what I'd want the board to be able to do. Now, having got the board, of course, we know how it goes. Boards are tested under optimal conditions with light riders in completely perfect scenarios. I couldn't get to anywhere near 31 miles an hour. I was sat between 27 and 28, which is one of the reasons why I feel like this is a very different board if you're to compare it to, of course, let's not hide around the fact, an Evolve, for example. But I don't think this is the sort of thing that you VS against a Hadian, because the Hadian is almost double the price of this board. But I can't say that this board is half the performance of a Hadian, not even close to that. This board is incredibly good value for money, so let's not try and get too caught up in trying to compare it to a board that costs double the price, because it wouldn't make sense. But speed, 27 to 28 miles an hour. Now, in terms of the range, again, at Wowgo are advertising 18 miles of range on the particular setup we have here, 66 tooth gear setup, 175mm wheels. I was sat between 15 and 16 miles, which is not bad at all when you consider the range that they're estimating was 18 miles. So 15 to 16 miles is plenty good for me. Now that brings us on to the ride. The range is going to be closely tied into the ride as well, because the way that you ride this board, because of that flexible spongy deck, because of those pneumatic tires, the shape of the deck as well with the concave, which I'm going to touch on in a bit, it kind of makes you want to go slower and just carve and slide the crap out of this board. I'm going to say that this is one of the most comfortable boards that I've ever ridden, and that's ever ridden, not just for the price point. This really reminds me of own boards. Rick, what was that board? The own board. The bamboo own board that we got. Do you remember what it was? I can't remember what it was called, but I'll dump some footage on there. It was
the own board bamboo or something.
Yeah, the own board bamboo. I can't remember what the exact name of that board was, but I'll throw the video down below and I'll throw some footage on that. That was one of the most comfortable bamboo boards I'd ever ridden. This, it being a flexible deck as well, has similar kind of properties. The drop down isn't anywhere near as aggressive on the front or the back, and the concave is very subtle. It's kind of like a very mild W concave, pretty flat in the middle, kind of bubbles out a little bit in the center of the deck over here and flares up on the edges. This for me is just perfect for carving. It's the type of board that if you're going on a sunny day like we've got today and you just want to hit corners sideways. This board is just a lot of fun. Ricky is incredibly picky about what boards he rides, and he was enjoying this one as well. He even said that he preferred this, the way it rode, to the Hadian boards, which for him, we have to take that with a pinch of salt, because we know we know what he's like. We have to take that with a pinch of salt. But he's not wrong in the sense that it's just a fun and extremely comfortable skateboard to ride. I'm just gonna wait for that plane to fly overhead. Yeah. Because I live near a military base, so it just gets loud.
Take that with a pinch of salt.
It's you, we have to say that. So of course, in terms of all of the specs of the boards, what trucks it's using, what bushings it's got, I'll whack that on the screen, and I'll also have a link down below in the description so you can check that out for yourself. I like to focus on the stuff that you can't read. That's what the videos that I create are based on. I don't want to talk about what cells the battery's using. You can read all of that on the website. I'm trying to share the things that you can't read online. Now, coming off of what we said about how the board rides, I feel like because of that slightly lower top speed and the acceleration as well is definitely worth noting. It is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it is sluggish off the line. It really is. Acceleration, just so you can hear what it's like, I'm going to full pin it. Here we go, full pinned. I feel like boards that have come out over the last 2-3 years that we've looked at on the channel would all destroy this in terms of 0 to top speed. But that's what I mean by, although it is sluggish to get to top speed, I feel like that changes the way that you want to ride this board. It's much more of a cruiser. I'm not saying that this is an entry-level board. I'd probably put it above entry level, but it's definitely the sort of board that you go out on and you just kind of enjoy the vibe. Nice sunny day, nice sticky roads, and just either have the board going sideways or just carving the living crap out of it. I really feel like that's the type of rider that it really does suit. And of course, if you're just somebody that's looking to rip through a city and you don't want to look down, so you want to be on all-terrain wheels, but you don't want to break the bank with an AT board that you're buying, again, this is the type of board that would be great for you. If you're coming from something that's lower in cost, maybe lower in power, lower in top speed, this is definitely a board that you'll appreciate, but more so for the comfort and how this board performs when you're actually on it. Once you get it rolling, it's a hell of a lot of fun, which again, feels very similar to what I said about Own Boards Bamboo that we looked at a few years back. Very, very similar to that in terms of how it makes you feel. You just enjoy being on this board. Now, when we look at things like braking and acceleration, of course, I mentioned that that's sluggish, but with the braking on this board, that's another area where there's definitely room for improvement. The braking is, in my opinion, one of the softest brakes that I've used on a board that can hit 30 miles an hour on all-terrain wheels. It's very soft, and the faster you're going, normally I find that the braking becomes a little bit stronger, but this, it still remains the same. So it's something that you need to bear in mind. If you're ripping around a city and you're going 25, 26 miles an hour, you need to kind of have the foresight to know if you need to stop a little bit sooner than you might do, because of course other boards do have stronger brakes. Now, there's things that you can do with the gears to be able to change the intensity of the braking, but as it comes with this setup, the braking is very soft. I don't think I could have said that any nicely.
No.
Oh my.
Well, smashing through it, mate.
Yeah, I'm cooking though, bro. Now, of course, touching on charge time of this board, it's not going to be coming with a fast charger at the price point that you get in this board for, so expect it to take a couple of hours to charge. But with a sort of 15 to 16 mile range, I feel like it is more than adequate for the price that you're paying. And again, just remember, it's less than £900, it's less than £850, which for the money, it's tough to say that there's anything out there that we've looked at or that we're aware of that is similar to this in terms of the design, the comfort, the ride, and of course the all-round performance that you get out of it. So overall, I am pleased with this board. Now, when we look at the remote, that's something that of course you kind of have to understand is going to be pretty basic, but a lot of boards have very basic remotes. It's not just this one. Like the X-Ways, I love their boards. I hate their remotes. I think they're crap. And it's the same as this, just a basic LCD screen with a scroll. That's pretty much it. It's very limiting what you can do so far. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but all I've been able to find that you can do in the settings is change the miles an hour to kilometers an hour, and that's pretty much it. You can't really change any of the settings of the board in the remote like other ones. I know X-Way's remote is basic, but at least it does give you the option to download an app and change things. But again, different price bracket, we can't really complain. It is slightly grippy, it's not plasticky, it has like a rubbery texture to it, so it is comfortable to hold. It's just very basic. But overall, I can't really say too many bad things about this board. I think for the value for money, it's not the type of board that you'll pick up and be disappointed once you get on it. You have to note that, of course, there are boards that are more powerful, that'll be quicker off the line, that will brake harder, that have more features, but they come at a price point that's normally double what you're paying for this. So all in all, impressed, and it's definitely one that we're going to be enjoying in a very different way in another video that you're going to see very soon. But overall, really happy with this board. So last point of the video is going to be looking at the board from the top down. I think it looks a lot more expensive than it does, and I honestly think that has a lot to do with the fact that the wood it's been painted black. It gives it a much more sleek, stealthy, more expensive, refined look. When you turn the board upside down onto its belly, that's when, of course, you're going to start to see a lot of the differences with some of the more expensive boards. The enclosure is pretty basic, but again, 836 quid. The buttons on it are pretty simple. It has the option to be able to turn the board off and on from the remote, which is nice, but the port to be able to charge it is just a very basic one, which again, I think I say that because I'm used to more premium boards, and that's not me calling Evolve premium, because I know people are going to go off in the comments about that, aren't they? I think that's just because I'm used to riding boards with a slightly higher price point, so those tiny bits do get improved and refined as you go up in price point. But that's pretty much all I've got to say. The bushings on these boards could do with being swapped out, but for the most part of it, because you're not doing crazy speeds, you're not doing 35, 40 miles an hour, they've been fine for a rider like me who's about 76, 77 kilograms. I think if you're considering picking up this board, I'd say do it. I can't really think of anything crazy negative to say that would put you off buying this. It's not going to be a case of don't get this, buy an Evolve. I think for the money, this is a great board. As always, guys, big thank you for watching. If there's any other boards you want us to take a look at, leave them in the comments down below. If you're thinking about getting one of these, or if there's any questions you feel I didn't answer, please leave them down below and I'll try and get to them. And of course, please suggest what you want us to look at next. But I'm going to say this in this video if you've watched all the way to the end. All the things that I've named in this video that I wasn't 100% satisfied with this board, we're going to be correcting that in a separate video. Can I tell them what we're going to do? Can I tell them?
No, just make him wait.
Oh, okay, you're going to have to wait. So we're going to do something. You're going to have to wait for what we're going to do, but it's going to be fun. And it's going to be something that I don't think anyone else has ever done. So stay tuned for that one. But thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.